Email automations are the closest thing you'll ever get to passive revenue in your business. And I say close because, well, you still need to set them up. Hi there, I'm Kevin. I'm the founder of Sensei Marketing, and I help small business owners and digital marketers find their next breakthrough without the burnout. Today, let's look at what I consider to be one of the most essential parts of any online business, email automations. Which sounds really great, but what does that actually mean? Email automations are just a set of emails that you send to a specific person at the right time with the right message. That's it. Sometimes they're called flows, they're called series, they're called sequences, drip campaigns. There's a million names. It's really all the same thing. The point is, it's the same email that gets sent to every person after they complete a specific task. For example, have you ever made an account with somebody and then over the next week you've got a bunch of emails from that same brand every single day? That's called a welcome flow, right? It's one of the most important ones to have, but we'll get to that later. But the point is, it wasn't just the business owner personally emailing you every single day. Nobody has time for that. But it is a really great way to make your subscribers feel loved and welcomed, which is why it's so important. Email automations are so crucial for your business because they bring in a lot of revenue, more or less passive. It's also great because it gives you a loyal following right from the start. It gets people in the door, they know exactly what they're getting up for, and if they like you, then they stay with you. So it's a great foundation for the rest of your business with them. Here's another example. Ever decide to purchase something, you click add it to cart, but then maybe you're not convinced, or you get distracted, or somebody calls you, and so you just don't ever hit buy? When you magically get a coupon later that day, but that's not really magic. That's just another email automation. And really, that's all it is. It's just crafting the right message to the right person at the right time, which are different from things like a newsletter, which is something that you write once, you send it out to everyone, and then it just sits in your Google Docs folder for the rest of eternity. Okay? These emails get sent out every time somebody does a certain task, and only to that person. And then once it's live, you can use it for really as long as you need it. But of course it's not 100% passive, right? You still need to set it up. You still need to plan it. You still need to write the copy, design the emails, make sure all the configurations are right, all the little settings. But once you get it going, you could just let it run forever. In 2021, I had a client in the health and wellness industry, and I helped them set up a welcome email. And the conversion rate, which is like how many people who open the email then actually purchase, like the percentage from there to there, was around 30%, which is just a fantastic rate, right? Okay, and they've been using that same welcome automation for like 4 years now, okay? So you can definitely say that they more than made up for that investment. Which for small business owners, this really means more stability. It means more fixed revenue. It means an easier way to do things. You get all of your time freed up, so then you can look into other things you want to do with your brand. So now you know why you need email automations in your business, but how do you do one? First, let's start with the tools, okay? Let's talk about which tool you need based on what kind of business you have. The first one is Omnisend. This one is super beginner friendly. It's really easy to use. It's relatively affordable. It's amazing for e-commerce brands, especially if you just want kind of the basic segmentation. You want to separate people into groups, but you don't need like an IT guy helping you out. I recommend this one first because I find it to be the most approachable out of all of the email platforms out there. It's one I use with my clients a lot. I really like it. Number 2, Klaviyo. This one's similar to Omnisend, but it has a little bit of more advanced functionality, right? It's not as user-friendly, but you can do some really cool things with it. So if you have a bigger business and you have a bigger budget to do, really advanced segmentation, you have a huge email list, you have a lot of products, this might be the better option for you. Number 3, MailChimp. This is perfect for service-based businesses, for freelancers, for digital marketers. It's a really good sort of generic one that's not super easy to use, but it's not that difficult either. One of the reasons I like them is because they have tiered options, so you can basically pay based on what you need, which, when you're a small business owner, that's really helpful. And it works for both e-commerce and service-based industries, but I probably prefer it for service-based. Number 4, System.io. This is a really great first step for most people that have like no budget at all, because the very basic package is completely free and you can do the most simple, like you can do a welcome flow with it. So if you're just getting started and you have a service-based industry, or maybe you're getting into digital marketing, this is where I would really start. It lets you set up your website, you can make a whole funnel, you can do all of your emails, you can plan everything within its sort of environment, and it's really easy to use. But the downside is it doesn't have as much like segmentation possibilities. There are some more limitations. It's really good for starting out, but maybe not something I would stick to forever, probably. The last one is Beehiiv. This is one that I personally use in my business, and it's really great for newsletters. So if you want to send out emails that are more text focused, but with like a more polished edge, which is what I like for me, it works out really well. Beehiiv is mostly focused on being able to grow your email list. So, you can add suggestions from other creators, you can put ads in there. And so for service-based industries, or maybe you're a content marketer, you're an affiliate marketer, anything like that, you want to grow in that section, Beehiiv is really good. So to sum it up, if you have an e-commerce business, use one of these. And if you have a service-based business, use one of these. Now, let's get into the meat of things. What are the 3 email automations that every business needs? I don't care if you sell protein bars or if you are a web designer, you need all 3 of these. First one, and most importantly, is the welcome automation. This gets sent out the second somebody subscribes to your business. And you know how they say first impressions matter? This is your first impression. This is your best chance that you have to really connect with someone. So show people who you are, how you're going to help them, and why you're the best choice to solve their problem. If you want to offer a little discount to sort of lock it in, this is a great moment to do that. I usually recommend around 5 to 7 emails in a welcome automation because I find that's the right balance between results and effort. It gives you some time to introduce yourself, build up a little bit of trust, tell them how you're going to help them, and give them a little extra incentive if they need it. Pro tip, just don't spend too much time rambling on about yourself. Okay, this isn't your diary. This is about how you help them. Automation number 2, an abandoned cart or abandoned checkout. Technically, these are 2 different things, but this is a beginner guide, so don't worry about it. The point is, this gets sent out when somebody puts an item in their cart, begins to check out, and then sort of poof, they ghost you. And that means they were so close to purchasing, but then something happened. And we don't need to assume the worst. It could just be they got distracted. They were sitting there in the supermarket in line and trying to buy something, and then it was their turn. Or they were checking out and then somebody called them. It could also be that maybe the price wasn't right for them. Maybe they saw like how much the shipping added and they decided to wait. But no matter the reason, this is the perfect time to say, "Hi, I'm here, don't forget about me." I usually recommend just sending 2 emails. The first one, just a friendly reminder. You send this just a few hours after, and it's just to say, hey, we still have this in your cart. Do you still want it? Don't forget to buy it. And this is because I like to assume that they just got distracted and they need a reminder. As somebody who gets distracted very easily, I think that's a fair assumption. But the point is, save the discount for the second email. Okay? In the second email, let's assume that the price point wasn't right for them and they need a little bit of an incentive to get over that obstacle. Because that's when you say a 10% discount is better than losing this customer completely. Last automation is the post-purchase. This is something that you're going to send a set amount of time after somebody receives a product or their service. I like to plan this just a few days after somebody would receive their product for e-commerce. This way they have a few days to try it out, and then you can email them and ask if everything is okay. If they need any help with anything, then you can ask them if they would like to leave a review. For service-based businesses, it really depends on your business, right? Sometimes you might want to send it a week after a project is completed, and maybe sometimes a month after. It sort of depends when they will start to see the first results. The point is, it gives you the opportunity to show that you care about the service or product you're providing. Then it gives you a chance to ask for a review if everything's good. And finally, it gives you a chance to encourage more sales in the future. For this automation, I usually aim for about 3 emails, each one addressing those last 3 goals. It's super important to tailor this one based on your user's experience, right? So for example, in my business, I like to schedule this follow-up for about 1 month after a client is offboarded. And remember guys, this is literally the beginning, okay? There are hundreds of automations you can use. You can create an abandoned cart automation for every single product that you have, right? You can really personalize this based on your own brand. Okay, these can be really complicated if you want them to be, or they can be really simple. Small business, I suggest just set up these 3 basic foundational automation, and that'll give you some stability, something to test with, make sure things are working. And then as you get more time, as you get more of a budget from the revenue these are bringing in, then you can focus on building up and creating more automations, more campaigns, reinvest it into your marketing effort. But I always tell people, this is not a now or never game. You do not need to create 100 automations in 1 month and get them all running. You can do 1 at a time. It's okay. We're all growing at our own pace. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more ways to make marketing a little bit easier and a lot less scam. And don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter if you want exclusive updates and insight. And if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below. Until next time.